All right, listener, you ready
Ready for what?
for this? We're diving headfirst into the world of boys' love.
BL.
Exactly. You got your manga ready, your anime queued up.
Don't forget those dramas.
Oh, especially those dramas. They really tug at the heartstrings, don't they? But today, we're not just here to gush about our favorite series. We're going deep.
Deep dive.
You got it. Deep dive into where this phenomenon began, how it exploded onto the global stage, and the impact it's having on storytelling and beyond.
And trust me, listener, it's a wild ride.
You said it. Now, our sources trace the roots of BL all the way back to 1970s Japan.
A time of change, of new ideas bubbling to the surface.
And manga, specifically shoujo manga, played a pivotal role.
Right. Shoujo manga, which was geared toward young women, provided this amazing platform for new voices, new perspectives to emerge. And that's where Shun and I stepped onto the scene.
Shun and I being for those who are just starting their BL journey.
Love stories, romantic relationships, but between boys.
And often featuring these characters, the Bishnin, right?
A Bishnin. These beautiful, often androgynous characters, they challenge those traditional ideas of masculinity.
So it was about the romance, sure, but also about challenging societal norms right from the start.
Absolutely. BL has always been about pushing boundaries, about exploring those spaces where society tells us we can't go. And the Bishnin aesthetic, it played a huge role in that. It was like a visual representation of breaking free from expectations.
And speaking of breaking free, we can't talk about BL's evolution without mentioning the digital revolution.
Oh, that changed the game entirely.
Platforms like Webtoon, they popped up and suddenly...
It's like the whole world opened up. Creators could connect directly with fans across the globe, no longer bound by physical limitations.
And fans themselves.
They found their people. Those online communities, they became lifelines for so many. Places to share their love for BL, to discuss theories, to find a sense of belonging.
And let's not forget the language that evolved alongside it.
Ah yes, the lexicon of BL, seme, yuk, fujoshi, these terms, they became badges of belonging, a way for fans to connect with each other, to express their passion for these stories.
And one story in particular keeps popping up in our research as a pivotal moment in BL history. Keizi Taki no Uta, the poem of Wind and Trees.
Now that's a classic for a reason. It wasn't just a simple love story. It tackled themes of loss, societal expectations, the complexities of relationships.
And all set against the backdrop of a prestigious all-boys school, which became a recurring setting in BL.
It's like that story set the stage for what BL would become. A genre unafraid to explore the depths of human emotion, to challenge norms, and to imagine a world where love could truly be free.
And speaking of going global, that's where we're headed next. BL didn't stay confined to Japan. It hopped on a plane, rode the digital waves, and captivated audiences worldwide.
And each country, they took those core elements of BL and made it their own, creating these unique flavors of storytelling that keep us coming back for more.
From the emotional intensity of Thai BL to the subtle beauty of South Korean dramas, we're about to embark on a global tour of BL's impact. Back again, diving deeper into the heart of BL.
And this time, we're all about the fans.
Because, let's be real, no deep dive into BL would be complete without acknowledging the force of nature that is the BL fandom.
They're passionate, dedicated, and they don't just watch BL, they live it.
It's like they've built this whole other universe around these stories.
A universe of fan art, of conventions, of online communities that stretch across continents.
It's incredible, and one of the most fascinating aspects of this fandom has to be the concept of shipping. You know, pairing characters together.
Oh, shipping in the BL world, that's a whole other level of dedication. They create these ships, these imagined relationships between characters, and it's not just for fun.
Oh no, these are serious business. They come up with the best ship names.
Zenunu, Max Tool, Offgun. The creativity never ceases to amaze me.
It's like they're adding their own chapters to the story, blurring the lines between fiction and their own interpretations.
And that's where things get really interesting, because this level of fan investment, it's a double-edged sword, right?
How so?
Well, on the one hand, it generates this incredible buzz, this energy that propels BL into the spotlight. It influences casting decisions, marketing campaigns, even the storylines themselves.
But on the other hand,
it can put immense pressure on actors to live up to these idealized versions of themselves, even in their personal lives. That's a lot to carry.
Absolutely, and we have to acknowledge that. But there's no denying the positive impact of this fandom. They're the ones who put BL on the map, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt. They're the engine driving its success, and the industry recognizes that.
Oh yeah, they figured out that BL fans, they're not just viewers, they're investors.
They're emotionally invested, they're financially invested, and production companies, especially in Thailand, they've turned fan engagement into an art form.
It's like they've cracked the code to creating a truly symbiotic relationship between creators and fans.
Think fan meetings, merchandise lines, entire events dedicated to specific shows.
They're catering to every whim, every desire of the fandom, and it's working. Our sources say BL has exploded into a multi-million-dollar global industry.
And it's still growing.
It reminds me of GMMTV, the studio behind hits like A Tale of Thousand Stars. They really understand the power of the fandom.
Absolutely. They've mastered the art of making fans feel seen, heard, like they're part of the BL family.
And that kind of connection, that feeling of belonging, it's priceless.
It goes beyond just the bottom line. It creates a sense of community, of shared passion that transcends borders and languages.
It's incredible to witness, and it's attracting some major players to the game.
Oh yeah, we're talking big-name sponsors, international distributors, streaming giants like Netflix.
Everyone wants a piece of the BL pie.
And why wouldn't they? It's a genre brimming with potential, with stories that resonate on a global scale.
It's a far cry from its humble beginnings in shoujo manga, but one thing remains constant: the power of representation.
Absolutely. Seeing yourself reflected in the stories you consume, it's validating, it's empowering.
And for so many BL fans around the world, these stories offer a sense of belonging, a validation of their own experiences.
They provide a glimpse into a world where love knows no bounds, where societal norms are challenged, and where everyone deserves a happy ending.
Which brings us to an important point. While BL is often celebrated for its positive messages of love and acceptance,
Right.
we also have to acknowledge the valid criticisms that have emerged.
Because no genre is without its blind spots.
Some argue that certain BL storylines perpetuate harmful stereotypes, that the pressure on actors to conform to fan expectations can be detrimental.
It's about having those difficult conversations, about listening to marginalized voices within the fandom.
Because if we want BL to continue evolving in a positive direction,
We have to be willing to acknowledge its flaws and work towards creating a more inclusive,
and representative.
exactly, a more representative and respectful genre for everyone involved.
We've talked about the origins of BL, its global reach, the passionate fandom.
And the challenges it faces.
But what lies ahead? What does the future hold for this genre that's captured hearts worldwide? We'll dive into that and more when we return. And we're right back in the thick of it, listeners. We've journeyed through BL's past, explored its present on a global scale, even unpacked the powerhouse that is the fandom.
But where do we go from here? What does the future hold for this genre that's captured hearts worldwide?
Well, our sources suggest a future that's looking brighter than a bowl full of cherry blossoms.
You're talking about streaming, right?
Bingo. Platforms like Netflix, Viki, Gagulala, they haven't just opened their doors to BL.
More like rolled out the red carpet.
Exactly. And with that comes a level of visibility BL could only have dreamed of back in its early days.
And variety. We're talking everything from those light and fluffy rom-coms that make you believe in love again to those gut-wrenching dramas that leave you reaching for the tissue box.
Don't even get me started on those tearjerkers. But it's not just about the feels, right? We're talking some seriously high-quality productions these days. Remember when BL dramas were kind of, well, infamous for their low budgets?
Oh, those grainy visuals, the shaky cam. It's almost nostalgic now, isn't it?
Almost. But let's be real, the production value has skyrocketed. These days we're talking slick cinematography, talented acting.
They're original soundtracks that get stuck in your head for days.
It's true. BL is attracting serious talent and investment, which means more freedom to tell even bolder, more diverse stories.
And bolder they're getting. Our sources highlight how BL is branching out, blending with other genres in ways we haven't seen before.
We're talking action thrillers with a side of romance, historical dramas with those forbidden love stories, even fantasy worlds with BL at their core.
It's like BL is coming of age, finding its voice on a global stage, and experimenting with what that voice can do.
It's a beautiful thing to witness, but what really strikes me is how BL is prompting conversations that extend far beyond the screen.
Absolutely. It's sparking dialogues about societal norms, about acceptance, about love in all its forms.
It's giving people the courage to confront their own biases, to open their hearts and minds to new possibilities.
That's the power of representation, right? When you see yourself reflected in the stories you consume, it changes you. It validates your experiences, helps you feel seen and understood.
And for so many people around the world, BL offers that much-needed reflection. It's normalizing what was once considered taboo, creating space for empathy and understanding. It's a powerful message and one that's resonating on a global scale.
It's an incredible time to be a BL fan, witnessing its evolution, its impact, and its potential to create real change in the world. The future of BL, it's unwritten, but one thing's for certain. It's here to stay.
Well, listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive, but like we've been saying, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole universe of BL out there just waiting to be explored.
So find your next favorite series, connect with the passionate fandom, and most importantly, keep those conversations going.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the captivating world of boys' love. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.